Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. A little reaction to what we just saw this weekend with the first ever NASCAR Cup Series, Xfinity Series street race. What that showed, we can take NASCAR anywhere. Any city in America, in the world. How about a street race in Tokyo? Ben Kennedy, Steve O'Donnell, let's make that one happen. Let's go race in Tokyo on the streets of Tokyo. Why not? This next-gen car, these drivers, what Julie Gacy and her team did for Chicago and built that track. What? Sky is the limit. This is a great time to be a NASCAR fan. Over the last 2 days, I've interacted with quite a few haters on social media about this race. Now, the Xfinity race, I get it. There were some people that weren't happy with them starting the race yesterday. Obviously postponing it until today, and this morning the monsoon or whatever came through Chicago. And then them calling the race short of halfway. This is the statement that NASCAR put out about that. With standing water and flooding a significant issue at the racetrack throughout the city, there is no option to return to racing prior to shifting to NASCAR Cup Series race operations. Throughout the entire planning process for Chicago Street Race, our relationship with the city of Chicago has been strong and among the most valuable assets in reaching this historic weekend. In the spirit of that partnership, returning on Monday for a competition of a NASCAR Xfinity event, 2 laps short of halfway was an option, but we chose not to employ, based on several unpredictable circumstances. NASCAR has made the decision to declare Cole Custer the winner of the race. I'm fine with that because of that right there. What he said, the partnership with Chicago. Think about wherever everyone works and lives. You have to drive to work. Some people drive to the city, some people drive outside the city, etc. But if the roads that you take to work are shut down for an accident, or for road work, or for whatever, it inconveniences a lot of people. This is downtown Chicago, the second biggest city in the country. Yeah, I understand that. Monday was an option, yes, but it was a last scenario. We had no other option. There's nothing we can do except. But you know what? We shortened the Cup race 25 laps because of darkness. We got it in at 75 laps. It was a great weekend. It was a win-win. I know the Xfinity race, people wanted more. I get it. It's only 25 laps. But we did see, because you think about the Xfinity car, that is basically the last Cup car modified, basically. It looked good on the streets, let alone this next-gen car. Good grief. So we had Cole Custer win, John Hunter, Justin Allgaier, Brett Moffitt, Austin Hill, Sammy Smith, Daniel Hemrick, Chandler Smith, Parker Kligerman, and Kaz Gralla was the top 10. I mean, should we have raced 2 laps and under caution to make halfway and call it good yesterday? They thought we were going to get it back started. They thought there was time today. So I don't blame them for that. That was unforeseen circumstance. I know there's people upset about the concerts getting canceled and all the money that fans had to pay. You know what? When you buy a concert ticket to an outside venue, you risk that. There is always that chance that the concert can get canceled, that weather can prevent you. Personally, I bought tickets to the theater for a show around Christmas one year. Put a pretty decent amount of money on tickets for myself, my spouse, and my sister-in-law. And guess what? There was an ice storm. We didn't go. We were out that money, but we understood when you buy an event ticket, things could possibly happen. I went to the Gateway race. There was a 2-hour lightning delay. I ended up leaving early because I've been at track all day. I was tired. It's hot. Oh my God, was it hot. So it's like we make choices in life, you know, and unforeseen circumstances, weather. Nobody can control the weather. So the Xfinity race, I think, was okay. I'm not going to bash it for any reason. NASCAR did everything they could to get it in. They had to call it. If it would have been 10 laps short of halfway, then I could have been a little bit more, and maybe we should have done so. But 2 laps to halfway, people's 2 laps. I'd rather see them do what they did versus, okay, fire them up, boys, run around for 2 laps, park, and we're done. No, just do what they did. As for the Cup race, that was freaking amazing. If you follow Robert Sports Show at all, you know I'm a pro wrestling fan and a NASCAR fan, and I rate pro wrestling matches. I think I'm pretty good at it, to be honest with you. A lot of that's opinion based, and I've said this before on here, and I've said it on NASCAR Channel 90 on XM Radio. NASCAR is 90% opinion, 10% fact. And there's a couple guys that I follow on Twitter that like to rate the races. Hey, that's cool. You know what? They ranked all the races this year. Hey, more power to you. Daniel Crete, and then the other one is HMS Never Legal Again. So I'm not saying I agree or disagree with these. I'm just saying this is how they rated all the races so far in the NASCAR Cup Series. Kansas #1. Yeah, I agree with that. That's the best race of the year. Coke 600, Auto Club. Okay. Richmond, Nashville, Daytona 500. Talladega, Coda, Dover, Darlington, Bristol Dirt, Martinsville, Chicago Street Race, Gateway, Phoenix, Atlanta, Vegas, Sonoma. I mean, I'm not going to argue with any of those. I mean, that's his opinion, and that's fine. But I'm not going to argue with it. I mean, the fact that Chicago Street Race wasn't way down there, I'm actually impressed with that. And the other one, the way they ranked them, they ranked Atlanta 1, Martinsville, Daytona 500, Richmond, Dover, Sonoma, Gateway, Auto Club, Vegas, Phoenix, Coda, Bristol, Charlotte, the 600, which, okay, Kansas, that's shocking, Chicago, Talladega, Nashville, Darlington. So he had Chicago 15th. The other guy had Chicago 13th, I believe it was. So you know what? That's how you feel, and that's fine. And I can respect that. I thought the street race was great, both of them. I thought the idea of NASCAR running street races, I'm all in. You give me 2 of those a year, I'll be good with that. I've done several fantasy bookings on here, and I'm actually going to do a new one now. I'm all in with street racing. Please bring it back. I know Dave Burns announced on Saturday that you can get tickets for next year, and I went on the website, and you can go ahead and put a deposit down for next year's tickets. So it's coming back, and that's fine. I'm all in. Hopefully it's sunshiny. We get the real festival atmosphere we wanted. But on the track, great racing. Shane Van Gisbergen getting the victory there for Trackhouse Project 91. When NASCAR came out with the next gen car, when Trackhouse and Justin Marks came up with the Project 91 idea, this was it, people. This right here was it. Street racing, we had a street race ringer. I don't want to say ringer, but we had a street race guy from Australia, the Supercar Series, and that's what Steve Daldano said it on Twitter. That's what this car was based off of, was a supercar. We all know that. Between IMSA and the supercar, that's what this car was based off of. For this exact thing, to go street racing. So instead of having to build a new track out wherever, you know what? We go to Nashville, we go to Charlotte. Let's do a street race in Charlotte, that'd be awesome. We go to Chicago. Streets in Long Beach, I've always wanted to see that. IndyCar's done street races. Formula One does street races. How about Vegas? How about a street race in Vegas? How about, there's so many things this opens up. There's so many street races that have Monaco. Haven't think of that one yet? I said Tokyo to start the show. That's awesome. There's so many places we can go. SVG, I'm not saying that last name again. And Jeff Burton, poor guy, he messed it up and just quit talking at that point. He is the 7th driver to win the first ever start and win it. 1949, Charlotte Speedway. That's the very first NASCAR race, Jim Rover. The same year, Jack White at Hamburg. Harold Kite, 1950, Daytona Beach. Leon Sales, 1950, North Wilkesboro. Marvin Burke, 1951, Oakland. Johnny Rutherford, 1963, Daytona. And then now, Shane Van Gisbergen. It was a great weekend. Some drivers are good on road courses and street courses, some aren't, When that caution came out for the green-white checkered, SVG had a 1.2 lead over Haley, 2.3 over Elliott. you know what? There's people that were saying that they were blaming Bubba for that and saying, thank God, you know, if SVG would not have won because of Bubba, he would have hated him and all this. No, whatever, people, come on. I give that guy credit. That guy drove through the field. I just hope he passed his tack at this point. But you know what? My checkered flag, which I would call in TMD tomorrow for, my checkered flag for this is going to be Ben Kennedy, NASCAR, Chili Gacy, her whole crew, by coming up with the idea and in making the idea happen on the track. We come back next year, it's going to be better because these drivers are going to have another year on it. Hopefully they'll rescan it for their simulators because there's some issues there, some drivers are saying. Maybe you guys get some more sim time on it. Just he only said he had 30 minutes on Thursday night. So you know what? It was a win-win. I mean, in my opinion, I loved it. 2 straight races a year would be great. Take this sport to places it's never been before. So yeah, I'm all in. So my checkered flag was that. My black flag is all the haters on social media. I'm going to tell Mike and Pete that tomorrow, and Sammy and Davey. That's my black flag. It's just all the negativity that came out of this. A lot of the drivers loved it now. I mean, a lot of the drivers were going into like, now they're like, oh my god, let's keep doing this. This is awesome. I'm not going to be able to call in on Tuesday, so my Tuesday takeaway would be, this is great. 1 to 2 a year would be perfect. We don't need to be going crazy. We need to mix street racing, road racing, ovals, short track, big track. We just need a mixture. That'd be just so exciting because this race was so good. The end of this race was so good. But yeah. And hopefully Dave will have a topic about the weekend and I'll call in and talk about it. But you know what? That is my reaction to the first ever NASCAR street race. I loved it. Thumbs up. Everything that I thought was great about it was great. We did have the one big pileup we all knew was coming. You know, you had like 14 cars parked there, no one can go anywhere. I love how everybody was sneaking on the inside and Harvick pulled up and blocked him so he could quit losing spots. But other than that, it was a great weekend. Thanks for watching Rubber Sports Show, my reaction to the Chicago street race. As always, thanks for watching Rubber Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Rubber Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports shot content. Follow up with a driver profile of Haley Deegan.